So now you have your threads, and we are stitching the pennies that we just pinned. These are your threads, and it's very easy to pull a thread out. You just take a thread and pull. They won't knot. And there. The threads are pre-cut, so one length of thread, you would put the ends together and cut. You have enough thread to do 2 of the large pennies, so 2 pieces of thread will do 4 pennies. And you would thread your needle. Again, it doesn't matter what size needle. If you find when you're using the thread or the string, it knots on you while you're stitching because it's so long, put it by your fingernail and just do a couple of these. I think because of the dyeing process, it does help. Just put it through your fingernail. So when I do 2 pennies, I don't cut my thread. I start between 2 pennies. I wouldn't start out here. You're starting and ending at a point, so I want to start here, then I'm going to end here and go around this penny. So I just lift my penny, and I already have a knot in the bottom of my thread, so I'm just going to pull the knot through and hide it. Does it matter if you go clockwise or counterclockwise? Not really. To go the way I do, the thread seems to sit on top of the penny. If you're going this way, it kind of just goes down a bit more. So it's just whatever you like to do, whatever you're used to. My first stitch goes close to the other penny, and it doesn't matter how you use your hands. I tend to use my fingernails a lot when I stitch. And we just keep going around. It doesn't matter the size of your stitches. Actually, if your stitches are not perfect, I think you'll have a better rug. It will look more old. This is where you use the tape as a guide. Don't hold it in your hand. I'm just holding this up so that you can see it. When you do your stitch, you bring it out just on the edge of the tape, not inside the tape, not way back here. This is where the point of your needle comes out, right on the tape line. And if you find your penny is just a little bit over, that will bring it in, as long as your stitch stays on the line of the tape. So you just continue around, stitch on the line of the tape. You can see that. And we will continue around until I get to this point, and then we are going to lock the stitch and do another penny without threading our needle. So I have stitched around, and now you'll notice, I think if I can get it up closer, this is pennies overlapping one another. It's overlapping here. That doesn't matter, because when you go around, you put your needle up next to that stitch, not beyond. It's always next to the tape, next to the previous stitch. and it will bring the wool in, it will bring the penny in close. You see they will lay flat. If you have frays in the wool, just stitch around them, don't bother with them. If you find you can pull them out. I wouldn't pull them out too much because that frays the outside edge in some of the pennies. So, and again, I have a bit of overlap. So, you see, that's overlapping. There's a fray. That's fine, I can take that out. Okay, so I do my stitch, bring the needle up, not into the stitching, not into this penny, just touching. There. You see that? And that will bring the wool back so that the pennies are touching. And we continue on, needle up by the stitching. You see I have a bit of a bulge there, but that's fine, that will go away. The pennies are not perfectly round, so sometimes you do run into some of these things. Now I have room for one more stitch, so I'm going to do one stitch, bring it up, not in the penny, just beside it, touching. There. Then I take my needle and see, it goes over the top. You can see, and you just